Welcome to Robertland. That's right, your favorite fast food comedy podcast. And I'm your host, Robert Thompson, comedian, musician, fast food philologist. What is up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Man.
Whoa, Rossco, Soletrain, my co-host. We're here to talk all about the legendary IHOP.
Legendaries
IHOP versus Denny's.
Yeah, man, we're going to do Denny's and IHOP. We decided that they both kind of suck in their own special way.
Yeah.
So why not just slap them together, because they both don't deserve their own episode. How about that? I'm just going to say it loud and clear. But I just got this new Pepsi cup, which I found when I was at the Orange County, Pasadena. Orange County, Pasadena.
Oh,
it's a new place. I found it at the swap meet, the Golden West swap meet down in Huntington Beach, California. And I decided to use this for the podcast because IHOP serves Pepsi products. We found that out.
They do. Day. Yeah, I asked for a Coke and she said, no, Pepsi. And I'm like, all right. Yeah, she said, you, motherfucker.
Yeah, she did just like that, too.
She censored herself to us. But
before we get any further, we should go to my favorite segment.
Your favorite segment?
Theme Park Minute with
a fast food
minute. Jesus Christ, man.
It's all right.
We are creatures of habit.
Yeah, we are. We were a theme park podcast for a long time. We're whatever we feel like podcasts. Right now, we're going to get all into the
We identify as a theme park podcast.
Identify as a theme park podcast. We're a switch is what we are. Yeah. And right now, we're switching right to the legendary IHOP and Denny's. But before we do, we're going to get to our favorite segment. We're
good, dude. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
Zack Hillman. Enjoy.
This is Fast Food Minute with Zack Hillman. Hannibal Lecter, eat your heart out. Oh my God, he's actually eating his own fucking heart. Oh, this is why I refuse to work with cannibals. I don't care how bad Rob Schneider wants to make a guest appearance. Get him out of here. Get him the fuck out of here. Well, now that that's all cleared up, back to the story. Customer David Scheiding was powering his way through an Arby's chicken sandwich in 2005 when he found a juicy piece of human flesh. Apparently, a manager cut his thumb on the meat slicer and neglected to throw out the bin containing his parts. He got even more depressed when he was unable to hitchhike home that night. Scheiding sued the company for $50,000, claiming they had no right to serve me something that tastes so much better than their actual food.
Man, you learn something every day, don't you, Ross?
Dude, yeah, you would think so. I mean, we've been doing the fast food podcast for a quick minute here, and I still call it a theme park minute.
Well, it's been like that for a while,
dude.
It's all right. It's all right.
I can't get it right.
It's all right, man. That happened. I mean, that happened to people when they went to IHOP when it was IHOB.
Oh,
right.
And they were expecting boners.
Yeah, but. No.
International House of Boners is what I thought it was going to be.
A
lot of people thought it was going to be International House of Booze. They thought it was going to be booze.
Like a brewery or
beers.
something?
They're going to start having beers, yeah.
Wait, they don't got beers at IHOP?
No, they don't. I think there's a couple locations that do serve beer and wine, but for the most part, I think that IHOPs are alcohol-free. And I didn't really delve too much in the history, which is what we're going to get into right now, of either. I didn't really delve too deep with IHOP or Denny's, but we just came from an IHOP.
That's
we ate
right.
there. It was the first time that I had at an IHOP since I was a kid, when you didn't even really call it IHOP. You just called it International House of Pancakes. And we'll get into our thoughts and opinions about IHOP. We've kind of let the cat out of the bag on this one a little bit. But let's get into some history. What do you say, Robert?
I'm down.
Okay, one thing. We both have fond memories at both IHOP. Well, not for myself, IHOP, but at Denny's. I feel like we all have there's been moments that we've all had at Denny's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. No, without a doubt.
Late night moments, early morning moments. Everybody has a moment at a Denny's or an IHOP.
I mean, how many drunken Denny's memories do people have? And even if you weren't the drunk guy, there was a drunk guy near you, and it was a legendary night. There's just so many memories. I mean, yeah.
So, and I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
So why don't we just rip through this history really fast?
Let's do it
with IHOP and Denny's, so we can move forward. So the reason why we decided to combine these two in particular is because they're both from California, because this is a California-based fast food chain restaurant podcast, and also because they serve the same shit. I figured it would be a really good, battle between the two of them. And another thing too is one thing I wanted to touch on is that You might not be familiar with this, but I was a big fan of the podcast Doughboys. You ever heard of it?
I have heard of it.
So Doughboys is a podcast with a guy named Mitch. I can't remember his last
Hedberg.
name. Mitch something, and this other guy, Uyghur. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Vanilla Ice.
Uyghur? Is it Uyghur? I don't know. Those people who know what I'm talking about, they know their names. And Mitch Mitchell and Uyghur.
I have heard of this, though. So
Dude, I should know this because I listened to this podcast for years.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in a lot of respects, Robertland has become quite a Doughboys podcast because they're both
spiritual
comedians.
success.
Well, they're still doing it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and tip my hat to the Doughboys, Uyghur, and also I think it's Mitch Mitchell. It's a great podcast. I highly recommend anybody that enjoys this podcast to go over and listen to the Doughboys podcast. Fuck yeah! But moving forward, IHOP.
Yes.
So, Jerry Lappin, Al Lappin, and Albert Callis founded the International House of Pancakes in Los Angeles, California in 1958 with the help of Sherwood Rosenberg and Will Kay. The first restaurant opened up at 4301 West Riverside Drive in Toluca Lake, California. Hey, guess what's really, really near 4301 West Riverside Drive in Toluca Lake? What other restaurant have we covered on the Robertland podcast that's right there?
Tommy's.
Nope. It's a 3-letter restaurant.
Bob's.
Yep. So Bob's, the original location of IHOP was right next to Big Boy.
Really?
Yep. Because what they were trying to do was they saw all these people waiting out in front of Bob's to try and get in. So they were like, well, fuck it. We'll just open up a restaurant basically across the street and get all that overflow. And it worked.
So the whole reason IHOP exists is to
capture Bob's.
To capitalize off of Bob's Big Boy. Wow,
yeah, their overflow customers,
crazy.
yeah. So the second and third locations were at 855 Vesper Avenue in Panorama City, which was the one that we went to, and also 3625 Stalker Avenue in Baldwin Hills, California, which was formerly a Brown Derby restaurant. Those restaurants are the original restaurant is not open. Those two locations are still open. That restaurant that we went to did not seem like it was an old restaurant at all. It seemed like it was remodeled in the 80s, and they kind of just painted the place a few times.
Yeah.
So
is it the oldest operating?
Those are that one and the Baldwin Hills were open at the same time. Yeah. The first prototype design for IHOP was a building with a steep roofed A-frame building with a distinct blue roof, which is what they use to this day. The last such location to be built was completed in 1979, while most IHOP locations no longer use the A-frame building, but a lot of those still exist in the United States. I think that most of them have blue roofs, though, don't they? Still?
Dude, I believe.
Yeah,
I always see
they
that.
just don't do that steep A-frame. Like the one in Burbank, I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but that's got that real steep A-frame.
Did the one we just went to had
It did in one part of the building.
Oh, okay.
But there was like several different chunks. We were just sitting in that weird back area.
Yep. The Coke.
Yeah, I did the Coke den, the Coke corner. Let's see. In 1973, the name was shortened to IHOP for marketing purposes. They used a cartoon kangaroo at the commercials at the time, and since then, the full breakfast menu has later expanded.
Get in me pancake pouch.
Yeah. They've expanded to dinner and lunch items, because they wanted to compete with such chains as Denny's and also Sambo's, which at the time, Sambo's was a major player in the breakfast game. Yeah. So, now it's like not a lot of people know what Sambo's is. They just think it's a racial slur.
Yeah.
But Sambo's was a huge diner in the United States that was very similar to IHOP and very similar to Denny's. So IHOP was like, we got to catch up to Sambo's here, and we got to raise up our shit.
And that's when they brought in the chocolate chocolate face pancake.
Your favorite item.
Yes.
The breakfast food menu later. Oh, let's see that. We already got over that. In 1976, at the same time as the reorganization of the International Pancakes Industries became IHOP. Oh, never mind. Fuck all that. In December 2019, IHOP announced its plans to launch a chain of fast casual restaurants they called Flipped. I don't know where any of these fucking restaurants are. I don't even know if they... I think they abandoned those plans.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Yeah, totally.
That would have been interesting.
As of today, the company has 1,841 locations in the Americas, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. IHOP Express first was opened in 2011. They're a quick service version of the chain. They're offered at such places as airports, school campuses, of course, military, food courts, and travel centers. The first standalone public location was opened in downtown San Diego in 2011. In 2019, IHOP plans to open up that restaurant, which is not quite the flipped restaurant. Not quite happened. The original location was really close to Bob's Big Boy in Toluca Lake. In 2007, IHOP purchased Applebee's for $2 billion. At the time, the two brands combined for over 3,250 restaurants, making IHOP then the largest full-service restaurant company anywhere in the world. I had no idea. Vermont was the final state to get an IHOP location, and when they finally did in 2009, the general manager insisted that IHOP carry a Vermont maple syrup. IHOP pushed back hardcore. They didn't want to do it, but they eventually were like, you know what, fine, we'll just do an upcharge, and it's for $1 extra, you can do that. And they have all kinds of different flavors of icing there, or not icing, syrup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Canadians love syrup.
Well, it's Vermont. It's not.
I mean,
but
Vermont,
close enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was
same,
thinking of
same
thing.
The country of Vermont.
Yeah.
It's close
the country
to
of Vermont. Yeah.
Close to Canada.
No, dude, Bigfoot from Howard Stern is from Vermont. Shout out. It is. Yeah, great stuff, dude. No, I love, I don't know. So when did the IHOB gimmick?
That was like a thing in like, what, 2017 or something?
17, yeah.
Yeah.
And it caused, it did work as a marketing ploy because everyone was talking about it for a moment. What is this?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
And it was to promote a burger.
It was to promote their burgers, yeah. Which, if you're going to... you were going to get a burger today.
Almost did.
Yeah, and I told you straight up, I was like, you shouldn't get a burger. Burgers at IHOP suck. Not that I have had one, but like I've seen them and they look like shit. There
like
was
a cafeteria burger, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, apparently because like the standards of like what they have to cook things at and things like that, you're not getting good shit at IHOP. Which, you know, you're not paying for good shit either.
It's like an astronaut food. Like.
Yeah, the prices at IHOP they're not that expensive. Yeah. I got 2 drinks and a plate of food, and my bill was like, with tip and tax, was like $23 or something.
Kind of crazy.
It's not that bad, you know, whatever. I mean, it's like crappy food, but for a specialty pancake and a specialty drink and then a cup of coffee on top of it, I felt like that was not a bad price.
No.
Not that it was good food, but...
I was kind of shocked when you told me the price.
But you're talking about their marketing. Their marketing has caused problems in the past. I know that their Twitter account says a lot of like shit like fat stacks, yo, and like just like dumb shit, which apparently, like, you know, people will get like, oh, you're appropriating culture and this and that, but they're just trying to appeal to millennials and younger kids. So they will sometimes say some off-colored things on Twitter, which will then get them in trouble. But whatever, dude. Like, at least they're trying, you know?
Yeah, they have the QAnon pancakes coming soon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Yeah, January 6th is right around the corner again, so we're rolling that out again. Okay, so that's pretty much as far as the history of IHOP goes. Like, that's pretty much it. We're going to move on to Denny's now. So Denny's is another California staple. We both have very fond memories of Denny's.
Yes.
Denny's was founded by Harold Butler and Richard Jezik. Richard Jezik, who operated Denny's Donuts in Lakewood, California in 1953. In 1956, a year after Jezik's departure from the 6-store chain, Butler changed the concept, shifting it from a donut shop to a coffee shop, with store number 8 of Denny's Donuts that decided to change the name to Denny's Coffee Shops, and change the operating hours to 24 hours. During the 1950s, Los Angeles architects Armit and Davis created a new prototype building with a boomerang-shaped roof that became a model for stores built all over the country. They also designed a second prototype in 1965 with a zigzag shingled roof, which me and my old buddy, who I have no idea what happened to this guy, Tommy Teven used to call Denny's the crinkled hat because of that zigzag architecture on the roofline, which is fucking sick. And you can still see some of those boomerang style locations all over California. That was a part of the Googie architecture that was made popular in California as well in the 1950s. I fucking love Googie architecture, and I love that there's so many Denny's that still have that roofline. Fucking amazing. All right. Let's see. Okay, cool. And most of Denny's locations were near freeway off-ramps, leading to increased larger signage. In 1959, to avoid confusion with Los Angeles restaurant chain Coffee Dan's, Butler changed the name from Denny's Coffee Shops to Denny's Coffee Shops. In 1961, Denny's Coffee Shops were just renamed to plain old Denny's. The business continued to expand, and by 1981, there was over 1,000 restaurants in all of the 50 states. The company absorbed many of the old Sambo's locations and used their mid-century design in some of the restaurants. As of today, there are over 1,700 restaurants in many countries. Did you know that Hammer and Hank Aaron inspired Denny's signature breakfast, the Grand Slam?
That was Hank Aaron?
That was Hank Aaron.
Wow.
Denny's Grand Slam breakfast combo platter was debuted in an Atlanta location in 1977 as a nod to Hank Aaron, who had set a new MLB home run record that was fucking destroyed by both Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa while playing for the Braves 3 years later. In Japan, Denny's makes jambalaya, but it's in a microwavable form. In the Japanese Denny's menu has some divergencies from what we know here in America. One of the most notable is the jambalaya, which is so popular that this year Denny's partnered with the makers of Cup of Noodle to create a line of instant microwavable jambalaya available in grocery stores and Denny locations across Japan. In 2011, eager to attract a younger demographic, Denny debuted Always Open, a web series featuring SNL alum Anchorman star David
Koechner.
Koechner, yeah. David chatting with major celebrities Will Arnett, Amy Poehler, and Chris Pratt at an LA Denny's. Denny's partnered up with collegehumor.com and the production company Dum Dum for the unscripted 3 to 4 minute videos, which didn't even include any direct mentions to the brand.
That's crazy.
Yeah, real strange.
Yeah.
Denny's has been involved in a series of discrimination lawsuits involving food servers denying or providing inferior service to racial minorities, especially black customers, which turned out to be very true. So true that in 1994, Denny's settled a class action lawsuit which was filed by black customers who had been refused service, forced to wait longer, or pay more than white customers. The settlement was a $54.4 million settlement, and it was the largest to date under the federal public accommodations laws established 30 years prior.
Whoa. I didn't know that there was like some weird...
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, it was a big fucking deal, dude.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what Denny's is infamous for. But yeah, dude, that's the history of Denny's. Now,
it ends on the racial lawsuit. What about the bacon menu and all?
Yeah, fuck all that, dude. Yeah, the 2468 menu.
Yeah,
that's the best thing about Denny's. Tell you what. But you know what? Like,
they're very welcoming to me and my militia.
I could fucking totally see that at like a Denny's in Alabama. They're all, nope, fuck this shit, because Denny's, like, fuck, it's Denny's, dude. Like,
yeah.
You're not attracting the cream of the crop workforce, number one. And your demographic, it's cheaper menu items. Like, you go there because you want to save a buck, and you want to go out for a meal. So you're gonna have problems. I always thought, like, as a hairdresser, I always thought if you have cheap haircuts, you're gonna attract cheap people. And my first haircut job that I ever worked at, it was a very cheap place, and we attracted a lot of cheap people. Not everybody that went in there was cheap, but there was a lot of cheap people in there, so there was a lot of problems.
So you say moons over my hammy, they're probably referring to like smack and like tweak, right? Like,
well, we've had some experiences with tweakers at
the haircut place
at Denny's.
I don't know. At Denny's? Oh yeah.
Or IHOP.
Oh yeah, IHOP. Tweak. Yeah,
Yeah. So I want to hear about some of your most memorable times at either Denny's or IHOP.
Well, okay, IHOP. I've definitely been to less.
In a lot of respects, I feel like they're the same place.
Yeah, there's a lot of... Okay, I mean, I feel like Denny's was such a reoccurring spot in my 20s.
Yes.
high school to 20s. It was like one of those first places where like, I'm going out with my friends. We're going to go to Denny's. Like, it was like something that was open in town.
Or being in bands.
Or being in bands. Late night. It's just, there was one in Chino Hills that we grew up going to. It's now a Korean barbecue. But there was 2 of them in Chino Hills. The one that we went to the most always had the worst service.
Right.
It was weird. It was just because the location.
Yeah. Off the freeway or something. You're like,
yeah. Ooh. So we'd always go to that one. And there was, dude, a flood. I mean, an influx. I can't. There's so many memories. Let me think here. There was like waiters you'd befriend, you know, that you would see for a while. Like,
sure,
there's Jim Bob.
Yeah.
There's all that stuff. There was a woman that was there forever that was really cool. But sometimes, I mean, I've been with people that you go to Denny's late night. It's like it became a thing where I actually had stuff on the menu that I enjoyed. Like, I liked their mozzarella sticks and their buffalo chicken strips. But sometimes, I mean, dude,
well, yeah, because it's fried and it's like you just dip it in fucking sauce.
You can't fuck that up, right?
I mean, well, you can.
Well, you can, and they can't. They have.
They do.
But so I remember going in the 246 era when that kind of came out.
I think it was pretty recently.
Yeah,
too.
Maybe before that. It was like, maybe you know.
But there was always some kind of like cheap menu shit. They always like some kind of
going. Yeah, but I remember going with friends. I remember going when there was like, you know, drunk. I was with friends that didn't pay the full bill. We all like were there, and someone throws in like, you know, $5 for the $20 like lunch or whatever. And so there was I remember going one time. A friend of mine had a picture of another friend's penis on his phone. This guy had somehow one of his friends got a hold of a dick pic.
A penis picture?
A penis picture. This was forever ago. It was
we don't call them dick pics on this podcast.
Penis,
we call them penis pictures.
Penis pictures.
Yeah.
It was in like 2005 or something, so it was like the phones were new. And you could add like sound effects to it. So you added, I remember like we're passing around the dick pic and adding shit to it. And he sent me one and I added like a baby noise. But it was just like a funny joke between a couple people.
Yeah.
And my buddy, I remember one time pulling it up to the waitress and being like, "So, what do you think?" And the guy was with us. The guy's
that's
penis,
actually assault.
Yeah, it's
sexual assault.
Showing someone's penis.
An unsolicited fucking wiener pic.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think?
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So sexual assault at Denny's.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he actually showed her the dick pic. I think he was just
sounds like
the
he
guy. Maybe. You know,
what's his name?
No. He was being playful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
fuck. Yeah.
I know. He listened to
sexual assault. Okay, cool. Right on.
But anyways, no.
Any racist moments at Denny's?
No, I remember going and seeing. Okay, I would go with friends. A lot of stuff could happen because someone could be drunk.
Yeah.
It could be late night. But there's plenty of times where I'd go and have like pivotal moments in my life at a Denny's. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're with friends and you're working on stuff, you're doing things, and you talk things out at this Denny's. So I remember having like epiphanies at Denny's over very serious things. One time I had a buddy say that we were all going to get deported. Because not deported, sorry. We're all you are going to go back to Scotland or wherever the fuck. No, it'd be like, you know, he was talking about the war with George Bush.
Oh yeah, we were all gonna,
the Afghanistan war.
Yeah.
That they're gonna bring back. I remember being like,
the draft. We're all gonna get drafted.
Yeah, we're gonna get drafted. And I remember being like
and
scared
deported.
shitless at
deployed
the table. Deployed. Yeah. I remember thinking like, oh fuck, dude, is this really gonna happen? Like at a Denny's, like getting my chicken. I remember going there, and you know, I've been with plenty of people that have cried. You know, at Denny's. I've probably cried at Denny's.
You ever seen a fight at Denny's?
I've seen fights at Denny's.
Do you ever look up fights on social media of Denny's fights?
They're the best. Yeah, Denny's fights are wild.
Or Waffle House ones too.
Waffle House is plenty. It's a raucous, wild spot. But I remember,
because you go there and you're all fucked up and you're like, give me some eggs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember going one time with a buddy, and he invited some of his work friends, the people I used to go to school with. One of them has schizophrenia.
Nice.
And so my buddy kind of set me up because I get there, and then he's like, "Oh, here's Daniel. He's joining us." I'm like,
check out his dick.
Shit. No. He was asking Daniel what he thought of countries, and he'd be like, "Oh, so what do you think about Guam or whatever?" And be like, "Guam is a piece of shit country, and it sucks my big hairy dick." So he kept repeating that line, like that was the slogan. Be like,
good line.
So what do you think of? Because Daniel's like Mexican American. He'd be like, "What do you think about Mexico?" He's like, "Oh, Mexico's a piece of shit country." He says like big fat hairy dick. But the only one that he would say is the best is America. He would be like, "This is the greatest country in the whole free world." But yeah,
sure, he ran. Randy.
Yeah, yeah. His name is Randy.
No, Randy's not that way at all.
No. But yeah, he was a character. But I remember going and someone telling me just serious shit. There's so many memories there. But I remember there was a fight one time when I was there, and that was pretty wild. That was the one fight that I remember, and it was like super fucking packed. It was grad night for a lot of people.
Nice.
It was like graduation time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
That's
families
the best time
there.
to go. Oh, if there's families there, I was going to say, grad night's a great time to go to Denny's. You can find yourself a new mate. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
it's legal.
Yeah, in Alabama.
Yeah.
No, but I remember just going there, and I remember we were there, and there was a huge line. We waited forever for a seat. We get there. I remember our waiter was like really frantic and like busy and like sweating. And there was this like rude guy at another table that like kept fucking running his mouth, like, "I need my coffee." Like he was fucked up, right? And so the waiter guy was like all nervous, going back and forth from this asshole, and all these other people just totally swamped. And some other dude like was sticking up for the waiter, and he was like, "Hey, fucking, calm down.
Yeah.
This guy's like slammed, right?" And so the drunk guy was like, "You gonna fucking say something to me, bro? You gonna talk to me, bro?" And he gets up and he spills like everything on the table, and someone at his own table starts fighting him, and then the other guy starts fighting him, and it's this fucking huge ordeal. They all get pushed out, but the best part about it is the waiter. I remember the waiter kicked the guy in the ass when he was leaving.
The fucking guy probably deserved it, dude.
Yeah, I know. Fucking
just getting a shot in before they're getting fucking out.
I remember I was like, dude, that's justice, dude. Yeah. But you do feel for those waiters that like are decent people that have to work there. I mean,
dude, you should have fucking ran up to him. You should have ran up to him with your fucking phone.
Five,
no,
dude.
not even the phone. Just like ran up to the guy getting kicked out and been like, "Hey, look at this guy's dick."
I know.
You like anything? You like it?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so there's a lot of memories, growing pains at Denny's, and it sucks because that Denny's is gone, so it doesn't have, like, there's one that's further out in town, but dude,
that was the Denny's.
That was the Denny's.
They got rid of the Denny's in my hometown. It went out during COVID.
Oh, really?
It did, yeah, but they're redoing it. And it looks fucking awesome.
Really?
They're fucking going for it.
It's like state-of-the-art Denny's.
I mean, from what I've seen from the outside looking in, because it's all windows, like just boom, the whole thing.
To quote Stained.
Yeah. It looks awesome. They're redoing the roof. They did the crinkled hat part. They redid that, but they're redoing the top part of the hat. And then they did some landscaping. Looks like everything is brand new and clean and white on the inside, which is an interesting color scheme for Denny's. I would have never pictured them just doing it a whole white thing. I would hope that they would have done something like more harkening back to the 60s coffee shop style, where it's like the browns and the oranges and the olive green, and that using that color scheme and just doing like a 60s version, because that Denny's in my hometown was built in that era with the rock wall and all that shit. But they just painted the rocks white. You know, and it's just like, okay, well, I understand, like, you're trying to make this, like, clean, sanitary look and very, like pleasing to modern shit, but it's like, you guys are an old, shitty Denny's. Just do that and do it right.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so much neater if that was the case. But whatever, at least they're doing something with it. I mean, I'm thankful that they're saving the roof and they're preserving the Googie architecture. But that Denny's, we've had some crazy encounters. My buddy Smith, one drunken night, we went there and he started just talking to a random Hell's Angel that was standing out in front that was wearing the Filthy Few patch, which means I think it means you're a killer for the Hell's Angels. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's what it means. And so Smith just was like, "Yeah, man, Hell's Angels, that's fucking awesome." And I had to grab him and pull him away. I've had friends that were so fucked up they couldn't even take their orders. And my buddy Tommy, who he's a composer for children's TV, he was all fucked up there one night, and it's something that we still say to this day. Like, it was his turn to order, and he just he was so fucked up, he just goes, "Chicken tenders." It's like, Jesus, it pissed me off so bad. There was a time where, like you were saying, a pivotal moment in your life. So I had a pivotal moment in my life at Denny's. I ordered my go-to late night meal was, and this is so nasty, I ordered the sampler platter, which is cheese sticks, onion rings, chicken tenders, and I think it's those 3 things. It might be a 4th thing, but it's onion rings, cheese sticks, chicken tender, all deep fried, 2 sauces, maybe 3 sauces. It is a gut bomb. I'd order that and a chocolate shake every single night, and that shit would make me sick every night. But at the time, I never put it together that all this deep fried food with that dairy was fucking me up. So my friend Scott Shipper, who is now long since passed, Scott Shipper, who had gone on his own weight loss journey, and I at the time was probably floating around 300 pounds. Scott Shipper says to me, he goes, "You gonna feel okay after you eat that?" And he wasn't being mean or anything. He just said it to say it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll feel fine." And he's like, "Man, if I were to eat that, I'd feel so sick." And I thought about it, and I thought, oh shit, like here I am. I can eat this whole thing, and I can feel just fine and normal. And my buddy is telling me that if he ate that, he'd be sick. Like, that's not a good sign. And I remember that, like, I still remember that moment. And that was one of the things that kind of rang in my brain when I was, like, trying to lose weight. Like, when I was, like, losing weight. I've gone up and down, but, like, I went on a real downshift.
And that was at Denny's.
Denny's, like Scott Shipper at Denny's kind of sparked that.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. Another night where me and the guy who used to run our studio, Gary, I was in bands growing up, and we had this music studio called The Farm. There was this guy who owned The Farm. The Farm was an actual farm that was turned into band studios, and it was owned by a hoarder who also would experiment with methamphetamines from time to time, maybe. And we went to Denny's late night because it was just right around the fucking way from the farm. And they served us our food, and the chicken strips were fucking raw. Like, it was raw chicken. And we wanted our money back. You know, it was like, that's gross. Like, we don't want to be charged for this fucking food. It's just not good. They were not going to give us our money back. And Gary was pissed. And he was trying to make a scene. And he was trying to, like, he wanted to barf it up on the table. So he's, like, making these, like, gross barf noises. Like, like in the middle of the fucking restaurant. And there's people all over the place. Me and my buddies got called creeps by an old couple at a Denny's one morning after a long night of partying in Modesto, California. Or was it? Yeah, Modesto. Which, to be called a creep in Modesto, yeah, it's a big...
It's like the murder capital of
and Modesto is not the greatest place in the world, but it was a pretty funny moment when we got called creeps by an old couple. And it was I think it was because my buddy Dan was like talking a gang a little wild shit super loud, and this old couple was just not having it.
Dude, how many old couples have been subjected to horrible shit at a Denny's?
I mean, what do you expect? You're at a fucking Denny's.
That's true.
You know? But people, dude, when we went to IHOP today, we had to wait 30 minutes to get a fucking table.
Yeah. It's bumping Sunday.
Yeah.
It's the day. But it took a while, and then the place that we went to is one of the oldest operating ones.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest.
And so it's kind of funny because the room that we were in, it was like the side room. It was so quiet. There was other tables.
There was tables all around us. Nobody was talking.
No one said a word. It's like those old couples that have nothing to say.
There was
something.
But
none of them were really old.
No. There was one couple that was like in their early 50s or mid 50s. But everybody else was young.
Did they have kids?
No, it was just a couple.
Okay,
but dude, nobody was. They
was
were
like
all
young
on their
guys
fucking phones.
that were sitting behind us. Did not say
a word.
Yeah, that's what I kept joking. Like, this is fucking the strung out.
We were trying to say like really outlandish shit.
Yeah.
While we were there, because like no one was talking. A room full of people, nobody's saying a fucking word. Everybody on their phones.
That's creepy, dude.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear some obscene shit. Like, where's the life? Where's the human, experience here? We're out to eat with each other. You know what I mean? I want to hear about coming
dudes' dicks.
on dicks, and I want to show people unsolicited penis. No.
Yes. Yes.
That's abrasive. Yes, but I mean, maybe. Yeah. Do you know what's cool that I've seen about Denny's though? that video that's viral with the band, the hardcore band playing at the Denny's.
Yes.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah. What the fuck is up, Denny's? It's fucking awesome, dude. So good.
Yeah, Denny's, I don't know, man. There's so many wild things that have taken place at Denny's.
It's so bad yet so great.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I do have a memory of something kind of funny. There was a guy that I used to go to school with. He went to my elementary school. Very unique individual. He was an albino guy that was like triple jointed, and like he'd scare kids on the way home from school. Like he'd scare women and stuff. Like we'd be walking, and he'd just come along with this like
whipping
backpack,
his dick pics out.
Yeah, he'd just be whipping. I mean, his whole like thing was just expressing all of his double jointedness. And I remember, his mouth. I remember his like face would just like. He'd like do exorcist shit where his like head would twist around
this must have been your favorite person in the world.
He'd be whipping his arm around and go. And
is this why your Instagram algorithm is fucked up? Because you spent too much time close to this guy?
Yeah, pretty much. But I remember, he would terrorize like my friend's sister and like just scream at people like, and just like whip his arm. And he was actually in my adaptive PE class. I had asthma. And I had some remedial classes, but they put me in adaptive PE. And so there's some unique guys in there. There's this guy named Wyatt that would chew. He had like metal teeth at 6 years old. He was like little
chomps,
little Jaws from James Bond.
Sick.
Remember? Yeah, he would just chew shit. Hell of a tether baller though. Good guy. And then there was this kid. What was it? Oh yeah, this kid named Junior that would eat Bozo the Clown cups and fart blood. But my favorite would have to be that guy because I remember him like just hitting the tether ball in different angles. You know,
this podcast is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's
you got to get out the blood farts and the cum jokes on Denny's.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the punch Denny's. Yeah. If we did that much, we went way extra for the oinkster. Denny's deserves all of the cum fart jokes. But so I remember he'd whip his arm back, but years later. After high school, I remember seeing him. He was a server at Denny's. He was just spilling plates everywhere. Like, no. I hope he's doing well. He's probably got like a big dong that also like
nice.
Is triple jointed.
Yeah, dude. Did you get a picture?
I would, and we could show everyone.
Show it, on the podcast. Hey, you guys want to see?
Hey, you guys want to see a dick? No, I wouldn't do that.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. All right. So now that we've gotten our great, beautiful memories out of the way. We need to go into we need to do some Yelp reviews.
Yeah.
The best part of this podcast is the unhinged Yelp reviews.
Dude, Denny's Yelp. This is literally the most excited I've ever been for Yelp reviews.
So
honestly, Denny's and IHOP.
I just pulled like the closest. So we're gonna start since we're on Denny's. We're gonna start with Denny's. So I just pulled up the closest. This is the first one that popped up, which is the Denny's on. I think it's Denny's on Sunset. Or is this fucking one? I think it's on. Yeah, it's Sunset. Anyway, so
okay.
Denny's on Sunset. Wow. Okay. Hollywood, California. The Denny's. It's got a 2.5-star reviews right now. It's got 324 reviews, which is it's telling. There's no place that has 2.5 stars. If people are giving Denny's, well, I mean, it's like I said, cheap food, cheap people. All right, so here we go. Bridget S. from Hollywood, California. This was last month. Disgusting. I mean, the food is so low quality, you're better off skipping this establishment because you may get food poisoning. Well, yeah, I mean, come on, Bridget S. Like, duh. What do you think? You're probably going to get chlamydia, too, from the fucking...
French fries.
Yeah, from banging a French fry, you know what I'm saying? Michelle R. from Los Angeles, California. This is also last month. I went here for a quick pickup. An employee with the name tag Michelle didn't even bother looking at me, and I'm all ready for the pickup orders right behind her. Made me wait almost 10 minutes when I was sitting behind her. Simply stupid. Okay, cool. Here we go. Here's this one has a lot of caps. I like when they have all caps. I like the ones that are just like people are just English is probably not their primary language, and they write the craziest fucking. I love those ones. Mm-hmm. I also like the ones where they use a lot of caps. So Brandon D from Central Los Angeles. This was also a couple months ago, and this is all caps. The food was great, and so was our waitress. That's I've never heard anybody say that Denny's has got great food. Brandon D, on the other hand, says, the food was great, in all caps. And so was our waitress. But, in all caps, there was an employee who was harassing my friend. The first time he/she, not sure what they were, harassed my good buddy was in the restroom where my friend was being polite and said, thank you for holding the door. That's when things that's when the thing, wow, he called it the thing. That's when the thing went back into the restroom and told him to thank his parents for making such a sexy child. Weird! In all caps. This weird, creepy flirting would happen every once in a while during our meal and ended up making me and my buds uncomfortable. Food, 10 out of 10. But I will never be going back in there because of that employee who looks like a woman but is a man. Brandon D. You know, I think that people like you in Los Angeles, California, by the way, Brandon D has only one review on Yelp, and it is to this place. That's it. Brandon D, I think that Los Angeles, California might not be the place for you. I think you need to go back to your country of Alabama or maybe Vermont. In Canada.
Yeah, wow. So he was really
he didn't appreciate the transgender person that was saying, hey, you know what? Props to your parents for making such a sexy child. You know, if somebody said that to me, I would probably blow them. You know, personally, I would just blow them. Like, that's just what I would do. I'd say, hey, you know what? I appreciate the compliment, and because I don't get these compliments that often, it's necessary for me to take you up on that advance and blow you in next to the dumpster behind the Hollywood Denny's. Hello, how you doing? Yeah. What do you say we move on to more negative reviews, but this time on the IHOP?
I am down. Let's go.
Because Brandon D, I think that he spelled it out right there.
Yeah.
Food, 10 out of 10. He's and he's also does not like the transgendered variety of human being.
No.
Not a fan. Go back to your country, Brandon of Alabama. You fuck. All right. You want to read these ones?
Sure.
All right, bro. Here you go. We can start off with that first one. Layla L from Hollywood Heels.
Layla L. Let's say.
Layla L.
Okay. This is for IHOP. Which IHOP?
This is, I think, also
Sunset?
Hollywood. Sunset, yeah. The
Okay.
one in Gower Gulch.
All right.
Which was one of the only locations that had the IHOB on their sign.
Oh,
they changed
IHOB?
they changed their sign.
There's still IHOB.
I think it's back to normal.
Oh, but it's one of the ones that changed it.
the name, yeah.
How are you going to... Okay, this is 1 star.
Layla L?
Yep, Layla L. How are you going to decline a party of 3 and say there's no space when there's a bunch of tables and space outside? Given a wait time would have been nice. Now my party is disappointed. This is why everyone should go to Denny's. IHOP, okay? Okay.
IHOPEK. You
Let's-
bitch.
Yeah, Layla.
You shit-ass bitch.
Yeah,
Layla.
let's see.
When was that from? Was it from this year? Or was it from last year?
It's from this year. It's from, a few days ago.
Wow.
Okay, here's Trey R. from Los Angeles, California. Treyer? His 1 star. Actually, I would love to get on here and give a great review, but man, this restaurant is overwhelmed with not even a lot of customers. I was on my way to this location, so I decided to try and pre-order online. Gonna pre-order the Grand Slam or what?
He's gonna be a Grand Slam.
Yeah, online, and that itself was too much of a process. Didn't give me the option to use Apple Pay, so I figured I'd just order when I had arrived. Terrible mistake. The 10 people in the restaurant were still waiting on their food. The host was too busy to greet me. Sad face. Guess I'll do McDonald's instead.
Damn, dude, these people are making all these threats for all these other shitholes, and they're threatening to take their business elsewhere. Guess what? There's a fucking line around the goddamn corner to get into IHOP
Yeah,
and Denny's. So fuck off.
Yeah, it's weird. All these complaints are more about like not getting in when it's busy. I want to kind of hear more about like, hey, the food had
exactly. Blood, farts.
The waiter,
pics,
the waiter with the Iron Cross on his forehead.
As opposed
during
to
a shift.
Let's
Let's
see.
see.
Cool.
Okay.
Transphobe Brandon R. Whatever the fuck.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of different from what I look, from what I see. This is 1 star from Matthew G, who's from LA. I'm not sure if I've ever come to this location before, I was served and at my meal without any issues. That is, until the check came. The receipt says I can pay online. I thought, great. The IHOP app asks for a QR code, but only a barcode is available and only on the receipt. See picture. Okay. I asked the waiter for a receipt with the QR code, silently aware that I'm probably being a bit extra going after the QR code when I could have just paid at the counter and left. God damn, dude.
This guy sucks.
This is, well, I can't even read this shit. Fuck this review. Where's the food that sucks?
That guy sucks.
Why? Yeah, receipt shit.
Yeah,
like,
you can't. I want to go on with the QR.
Yeah,
this
fucking.
is the barcode. I want to scan and pay online.
You have OCD, fuckface. Let's see. Okay. All right. Finally, God fucking damn it. Finally, some comment on the food.
Yeah.
This is from. This is from Muhammad MM from Oakley, California. 1 star. You guys have pancakes that are 10 times worse than McDonald's. Chicken fried steak was definitely previously frozen, and the hash browns tasted frozen. Hope you guys go bankrupt and close all your stores. Disgusting as motherfucking fuck. That was good.
Wow, dude.
Well, because he is Muhammad MM, so he's got to say motherfucking. Never mind. But I couldn't read more.
That's bad.
These are kind of
We can get
disappointing. Okay, this might be good.
Muhammad was pretty good.
That was
real
good.
anger.
Let's try one
Let's
more.
get the anger going, man.
Okay. All right.
See pictures.
This is BK, West Hollywood, California.
Let's give him a name.
Burger King. All right. The 1 star. Worst restaurant ever. Seriously. Every time I eat in an IHOP, or now IHOB, it's been a nightmare. What is the deal with this place? How is it even open still? Last time I ate in an IHOP, and I hope, we had ants on our table. Just disgusting. Tonight only went there as was a concert was nearby and walked in around 500. The fuck is it military time?
Oh, must be 5 a.m.
Yeah. And
where else are you gonna fucking go at 5 a.m., dick fuck?
Yeah, and no one in the entire restaurant. Well, you'd think you could just get good service, and of course, not. Then 2 more groups came in. Thanks for sitting a group with children and noisy people right next to us when the entire restaurant is empty. Our food took us forever, so long, and no one was there. I saw the food sitting in the kitchen forever. The waitress was spending all the time on this party that had 5,000 comments and questions about their order.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew the food was getting cold.
Oh shit. This thing's not recording anymore.
Oh no.
Wonder when it stops. Must be that card is full.
Okay.
Well. All right.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so.
We'll just have to pull this audio from here.
Okay. Yeah, alright. Well,
that's it.
Yeah, worst place ever.
Let's just fucking in Guy and trust it and call it a night.
Alright.
Yeah, you don't need that.
And on that note,
in Guy we trust.